Are we live? We might be. Hey, peeps. How are things? Oh, yeah, I am live. It's real neato. All right. Hello, everyone. Oh, good, hey? Nice. Sup, Zeus? Sound limbic system. All my peeps. Oh, chat. Oh. Hey, everyone. You know what? I might get emotional. Maybe. The chat keeps on freezing. It's a lot of people. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Zeus. Those were kind of thrown together at the last moment. I couldn't do proper mixes or anything. They're just little ideas I was working on, and might as well get them out because hearing's starting to go. I feel like absolute poop. Yeah. As soon as you start to feel good, they put you back on chemicals again. Thank you, David. Canadian hugs. Yeah. We shall chill this stream. And the fuzziest, warmest hug. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little bit. There's a thing called chemo brain, and basically, you get kind of affected cognitively. So I might forget how to words halfway through what I'm saying. Those were the last of the tracks for now. I might have a couple more, but those will show up on SoundCloud. Yeah. Big hugs from Manchester. You know what? Nothing like a stream on a Friday. 'Cause that's when the true music people hang out. The people that choose to stay in on a Friday. Yeah. Well, I used to have hair. I used to have a beard. It's all gone though. I honestly don't look like I'm going through chemo. Well, I have no more hair. Still have my eyebrows though. Arm hair is still there. Yeah, it's more of like a peach fuzz situation. It's because what happened was I had all my hair. It's like my huge mane, and we buzzed it off, and my hair was like that long. And then a week after my first round, I don't know for anyone who's ever experienced it. I hope you haven't. But your hair hurts. Your not follicles, your roots, like where like the root goes into your scalp. That hurts. That's like really painful. And I was like, damn it, I hate this. It hurts so much. And that's why people wear the scarves or whatever. And then I went into the shower and I was washing my hair and I went like this. And then like it was just all over my hands and it was all over the walls. It's like my hair exploded off my head. And then, yeah, no hair. My poor mother had to deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, they do say it'll all come back, and it will. But they said it'll come back a little bit different. So I'm hoping like curly hair, maybe, if anything. Maybe um maybe like a perm, like a natural perm, like wavy hair. Who knows? Well, getting a lot of love from all over the world. The perm would look dope. Yeah. So it's Toque weather, and this is my partner got this. Tina got this for me. It's cashmere, so it's like super soft. I've basically worn it for the last month and a half. I've been going through treatment for a month and a half, and I haven't actually taken this off except to wash my smelly body. No, nowhere near beating cancer. I'm going to be a cancer patient for a while. How much has the fundraiser helped me? You have no idea. I live in one of the greatest countries in the world, and a lot of things are covered, but a lot of things are not. And I might need to go on something called Grastafil, which is very expensive, and that's to make my immune system's basically shot, and I'm in I'm this close to being quarantined, and yeah, if I get sick, I get really really sick, so I have to get like a daily needle. It's like $400 each, and I stick that in my stomach, like in my belly or in my butt, and that will get my bone marrow to make more um, neutrophils and like white blood cells and like immune fighting things. But what it does is it makes your bones hurt. Apparently, it's pretty rough. So that'll be my next week. They're upping my doses next week, so I'm going to be even more floored than I am. Go vegan and get cannabis oil. Yeah, you know what? I have this stuff right here. It's reversed for me. It might not be for you. Taking this as needed, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm eating well. When will I hop back in the studio? You know what? I'm focusing on beating this. And oh, the real estate whisperer. Thank you for the I guess you call it a super chat. Thank you for that. Outside of donations, is there anything you can do? Don't. If you think you have, if something is wrong, something is off, something doesn't feel right, go to a doctor right away. Don't be a fucking idiot like me. The daily vlogs, I was planning on those, but it's exhausting for those that have never experienced it. It hurts to read. You can't even watch a movie. All I can do is listen. I can only listen to things, if anything. It hurts to focus your eyes on something. If someone asks you a question, you don't even want to answer because it's too exhausting. and you feel sick, and all the medication messes you up. I should show you my medication. It's ridiculous. Oh, T-Nile's here. She is the star of the show. Um, Without her, I would be not in a good position. Very supportive lady right there. So, okay. I am Boo. Boo Rent. Yeah, very, very, very whelmed to have y'all here. Thank you, Wyatt, and thank you, House Essence Music. How long did you feel wrong before it was diagnosed? All right, so breaking news. Guess I might as well freaking talk about it. I had or have testicular cancer. So what I thought was uh, I've had it before. It was an infection. You have your ball, and then you have like a little curly tube thing that goes to your main tube. I thought it was an infection for like a couple weeks, and then I noticed a lump, and that was beginning of May, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is an ordeal." Um, and I was certain it was an infection because I've had it before in the same one, and I was like, "Yeah, this is familiar." So I go to the ER. Tina and I go to the ER, and I'm all like nervous and embarrassed and shit. And I'm just like, yeah, I have this lump here and it's sore. Feels like I'm sitting on my nuts. Basically, that's what it felt. And I'm there, and then the doctor's like humming and hawing, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, I don't quite know what this is. Let's get you into a an ultrasound situation. So I'm like, okay. Um, so I go and get the ultrasound, and they put the goo on my crotch. Wasn't pleasant. And they're thinking, yeah, we don't know what this is. We're gonna send you to a specialist. And the specialist happened the very next morning. So I go to this very eccentric urologist, and he he's talking and stuff like that, and then he reaches for the gloves, and I'm like, ah, Jesus Christ, here we go. And he's like, all right, let's have a look. So I pull down my pants. He checks, and he's like, yeah, that's cancer, and it's cancer. And then he immediately goes into this tirade, not the tirade, but he immediately is like, you know what Lance Armstrong had, and it spread throughout his body. I had a coworker, he had it, and like, you're gonna beat this. This is good. So I'm like, oh my god, and I'm in shock basically, and I'm like, all right, well, what happens? And he's like, yeah, he's got to remove it. So I'm booked for surgery on, I think it was the 22nd. I could easily find out. Or maybe it was the 11th. It's pretty quick. I'll be able to tell you in 2 seconds. Everything happened like really fast. And yeah, I'm getting like these scans. And yeah, 1 second. Like just looking back. Surgery. It was May 11th. So May 11th, I had my surgery, which was it's kind of a really funny story. Um, I have a fear of being put under, and I also had a fear of having one of my balls taken out naturally. But it's like a simple outpatient surgery. Basically, you're there for the day, and then you go home. Send you home with antibiotics and painkillers. Um, and I'm there, and it's like you got to be there at like 5 in the morning. To get there at 5 in the morning, and I'm all like tired. Get there, they check you in, and then you basically sit in a bed for a couple hours. And then my surgery didn't happen until 10. I'm sitting there for a couple hours. And I'm telling the nurse, I'm like, I'm a nervous flyer. They're like, what does that mean? I'm just like, I am very nervous about this surgery. And they're like, okay, I'll talk to the anesthesiologist. We'll see what they can give you. And they gave me a pill for anxiety, which didn't do shit. But yeah, we'll get into that. So basically, oh my god. Okay, this is a funny story. This is a really funny story. Um, so it's me and then an older gentleman, and we're all in like the numbers in your stall with your bed, and I'm like number 9. He's number 10, and they do us kind of in chronological order. And there's like a couple nurses, and one of them is a young nurse, and she's the one next to me, and they're like, your temperature, do you have any allergies? And they go through the all the questions they ask you for your surgery. They see if you have like your pre-op, which is like your pre-approval. And I got my approval for surgery the day of. But anyway, young nurse comes and just like walks past me and goes to the next guy, and I was like, what the heck? Why'd she skip me? And then the main nurse, who's an older lady, she comes and sees me, and she's like asking me all the questions. I'm like, why? What happened? Basically, I'm not telling the story well, but basically, they the other nurse, I guess, because of what they were working on, she just like, yeah, protocol allows us to like not do that, because the older nurse is like, she comes up to me and she's like, all right, I have to shave your scrotum now. And I was like, what? And it was like kind of awkward, but at that point, like, so many people have seen my dick that I was like, whatever. But this is like, a woman touching my wiener, and I'm like, she's shaving me, and I'm sitting there like this, just having small talk. And uh, she's like, oh yeah, da, 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 how's Galliano? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, you guys could have told me to shave. I could have saved you a step, Da, da, da. She's like, no, we typically don't want you to do that because you can get scratched. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, yeah. And it was, I don't know, it was just it was awkward and funny. I was like, oh yeah, that's why the younger nurse skipped me, because maybe, you know, if she was shaving me, I would have to be thinking about something else to avoid embarrassment. Anyway, so um, it's called an orchiectomy. Basically, they're like, all right, you're up. So then the nurse comes and gets me. I'm in a hospital bed, and there's a picture of me, and you can see the fear in my eyes. Um, and she takes me down the hall, and I'm telling her, I'm like, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty nervous. That pill didn't do anything. And then she's like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, we're gonna get you in there. We're gonna do things, nice and slow, and everything's going to be fine. I knew everything was going to be fine because it's a very simple surgery. Um, so I go into the room, and if you've ever been in the operating theater, it has like nitrogen pumped into the air, and there's negative pressure. There's a lot of wind in there, and that's to avoid um, infection. So I'm in there, and they're just like, "Are you cold?" I'm like, "No." It's like, "Your legs are shaking." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a nervous flyer." They're like, "Oh, okay, so we're gonna give you something," and I'm just trying to like play it up and kind of put on a brave face and just have humor, and I'm like, "Who are you? Who are you?" I was like, "I'm the anesthesiologist. I'm the student." She was like, she had like a residency under the anesthesiologist. I was like, "Education, rock and roll, yeah." And and then there's my surgeon, and then his shadow, because there's a story about him, but I won't get into that. That I found out later. And then there's the nurse that does like the scalpel, hand me the scalpel, whatever. She's like the assistant or whatever. And I'm there and like, "Yeah, we're gonna transfer you to this bed," or there's like a table. They transfer me to the table. They don't strap me down or anything, but I'm in my gown, and then they lift it up, and they're putting in an IV into my arm, and then the surgeon's like, "Why isn't he shaved?" Blah blah blah, and then he starts drawing on me, like with an arrow and like the thing. Um, Basically, yeah. And I'm sitting there, and then he puts the IV in, and then anesthesiology, like the anesthetic that like knocks you out. It's like multiple stages. There's like this syringe. They put in the IV, and they put the syringe of like this milky liquid stuff, and I can demonstrate it on here. As soon as he put that into my IV, everything was doing this, doing that. And I was like, "Whoa, okay." And I started to like relax a little bit. And then they put the mask on me, and I was like, "What's this?" And there's like, "It's just oxygen." And I'm focusing on the oxygen, and then the anesthesiologist lady like it took the mask off me because I think she thought I was out, and I was trying to get it, and I remember my lips doing this, trying to get more oxygen. It's kind of funny. And I think he injected me with the stuff kind of slowly, and then I have like the blood pressure band on my arm and stuff like that. And I'm fighting it, and I'm fighting it because I really want to be out. And then, yep, propofol. That's it. That's the stuff. And I can't believe that Michael Jackson was addicted to that shit. It was crazy. Anyway, uh, I did that, and then I was just out. And then I immediately woke up after it was all done. And basically, how an orchiectomy works is they don't cut open your nutsack. They go through like your stomach. So they go through like right here, and then they pull out the tube with your ball. And yeah, I wake up in the recovery room, and I wake up mid sentence. And I wake up mid sentence, and the sentence that I'm saying is, "It's because you guys are my guardian angels." And then I was like, "Am I gonna be sick?" Because that was another fear. I was worried I was gonna. I don't like being sick. I don't like throwing up, which is kind of a bummer because I'm on chemo now. I'm yeah, yeah, yeah. My balls hurt just listening to this. Um, and then I ask, "Am I gonna be sick?" And she's like, "You've asked me that question about 10 times since you've woken up." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they're just like, "What's your pain level?" And my pain, I didn't feel anything. I was on fentanyl. And they asked me what my pain level was, and I was like, a 9 out of 10. And then they gave me morphine, and that was fun. And yeah, basically, Tina L came in, and I was like, "Hey." Basically, I was like having the time of my life. And then they needed to make sure that you can walk. So they're like, stand up and walk, and I'm just like walking, and the nurse is making sure I don't fall over, and they're like, yeah, you're good to go. They lent me a pair of hospital pants, which was cool, and they wheelchaired me out into the car, and I went home, and basically felt amazing for a couple hours, and then the next day, yeah, a little bit painful. Basically, you just have a surgery scar around that big. Um, yeah, moral of the story is check your balls. So what happened was is the pathology report. Basically, they look at under a microscope and they find out what kind of cancer it is, and wasn't good, not good, um, and yeah, not a kind you want to get. I was like, okay, well, but then they're just like, it did invade, left the part of origin. Basically, I think it was like 70% was a tumor, so it was a substantial size. Um, See, my brain is all weird. It's hard to revisit. Basically, it was big, and it had invaded into the tube, but the margins were good where they cut it. The margin means that there was no cancer over there, but that didn't mean anything because it came back. So they're just like, all right, well, it's not good. Basically, we're going to get you a referral to your oncologist, and got the oncologist appointment. And she's just like, well, it's not looking good, but you had good margins. Your tumor markers are high, but I think they're going to go down. And yeah, we're going to put you on surveillance. So you basically, they don't know whether they got it all. And if they got it all, basically you're cured. But if you still have it, they don't know. So, they watch you very carefully. And then if you go up, then they do more treatments. So I was like, okay, rock and roll. I thought I was done with it, and put on surveillance, which is weekly blood work and scans and stuff like that. Brain scan came back good, and my CT scan before surgery was good. And then I believe it was 2 months ago, I got a call saying that your markers had spiked, and they spiked a substantial amount. We need to figure out what's going on here. So I was like, oh, fuck. On the off chance it's the other ball, that would have been not good. So yeah, more blood tests, and they're just like, yeah, most likely you're gonna need chemo, and we got to figure out what's going on. And it was a very hectic week to kind of prepare for everything, because you have to get a couple things. So you have to get a chest, like chest and pelvis CT scan, and then I had to get another ultrasound on my remaining testicle, which is a trooper. Um, and basically, you only need one. The other one just takes over, and all the plumbing and everything works exactly the same, which I didn't know. The testosterone, everything, it doesn't. You can just live with one, which is cool. But the one they wanted to rule out, if the other one, on the off chance, was if the other one had an issue. Turns out it didn't. Um, so basically, yeah, I had to get a chest and pelvis CT scan. I had to get my lungs checked. So I sit in a metal or a glass phone booth thing, and I blow into a thing, and my lungs were good in terms of capacity and function. It's called a pulmonary function test. I need to get one of those, and then a couple blood tests. My creatine levels. They check everything. to make sure that you are physically fit. Got a call saying that the cancer had metastasized to the lungs, and I was in poor risk, which is not good. You don't want poor risk. Poor risk with an aggressive form of cancer is not good. And, you know, the sound in my oncologist's voice was not too reassuring. And yeah, so that was around 2 months ago, maybe 7 weeks ago. And here I am in treatment with fingers crossed, hanging out with you guys. But apparently I'm taking the chemo well, and things are looking good, all things considering. And yeah, I'm just in this weird limbo situation in my life. And I'm at my mom's house, because when you're sick, you want your mom, right? And yeah, and if I would have caught this earlier, I would have been in a better situation. But now I'm comfortable showing anyone my balls. You know what I mean? I'm just like, here, take a look. You know, it's amazing what you get used to. I've gotten used to needles. Basically, so with that being said, okay, with testicular cancer, it is fast growing, so it responds well to chemo. I will show you my balls. Not quite yet. Maybe if this gets couple thousand views. No, I'm joking. What was I talking about? So with testicular cancer, it's a fast growing cancer, so it responds well to chemo. The basic theory of chemo is that chemo drugs will affect cells that are growing fast, that are separating, and will damage them. Cancer cells can't error correct like healthy cells can, so they basically get fucked up by the chemo and they can't do anything and they die. That's the general theory, and that is what I'm hoping for. Um, so yeah, basically, I'm in pretty good hands. I enjoy hanging out with my infusion nurses because the cancer that I have, the chemo protocol, is very grueling. It's one of the worst. One of the worst ones. It's 5 days in a row, and I'm there for 4 to 5 hours. Bleomycin, etoposide, and cisplatin, also known as BEP. And yeah, absolutely floors you. And it is a disease of young men, so I guess they think we can take it. They don't tell you how bad it's going to be. They also don't tell you that some men quit. And yeah, it's pretty rough. Those days, I don't even want to answer questions. It's like yes or no, and it's weird because they give you. I'm on a lot of medication, so they give you anti-nausea drugs, and they augment them with steroids. And you're tired from the chemo. Your body's just worn out. So your body's worn out. You're tired. You're on Danzatron and something called a mend, and that basically shuts down your serotonin to avoid the vomit reflex, but that also, shuts off your other parts. You get constipated, shuts off your intestines, shuts off, certain parts of your brain, and it just kind of turns you into a zombie, gives you dry mouth, shit like that. And yeah, and then they give you these steroids, which makes you want to fucking snap at people. But yeah. Basically, roid rage is real because I've experienced it. It's not pleasant, but the steroids prevent allergic reaction and they augment the the anti-nausea aspects, as well as a cortisol steroid during infusion, so you don't have an allergic reaction. So yeah, they pump you full of everything, but they're pumping you full of everything so you will be cured. And this is the way that I'm gonna beat this. Science is there. A lot of men before me, and yeah. So, how does it feel during a chemo session? Okay, so basically, my chemo sessions involve between 2 to 3 different drugs, and then 2 IV bags with saline and things like that. Hydration is very important, so your kidneys don't get damaged by the drugs. And I try to hydrate orally as much as I can. But you get the side effect of the chemo drugs. Basically, makes water taste awful. Everything tastes bad. Eating a bowl of Kraft dinner, you might as well be eating a bowl of wet, soggy cigarette butts, and that's not an exaggeration. That's basically what it tastes like. It's not pleasant. But chemo session, I go to the Victoria Cancer Clinic, one of the best cancer clinics in the world. Best infusion nurses, best oncologists. I also had my surgery in that hospital, Royal Jubilee. Google Map that shit. That's where I am most of the time. I go in. I go into the front reception. They know me by name. They know me by name, I should say. Uh, and they get my birth date to confirm me, and they ask you, "Are you feeling well for treatment?" I always say yes. I can do the standing on my head. Let's do it. So then I walk down the hall. Doors open, like that. Um, we go. Well, a volunteer. I should also mention the amazing volunteers that are there. Uh, Cancer survivors, people that were touched by cancer. So many volunteers work there. They wear the green vests. Um, Amazing people. They come out to get you. Then you walk through the sliding door, like I said, and you sit in these freaking awesome chairs. So I want everyone to Google chemo chair, and that's what they look like. And the one with the lady in with the hat, that's what they look like. And that's also what the infusion machine looks like. They hook you up to a dance partner. Um, so yeah, so you all know what they look like. They lean back. They're pretty comfortable. They assign you a chair and a number, and then they assign you an infusion nurse. Um, you sit in this chair, and then they offer you blankets, tea, coffee. You probably don't want coffee. You want peppermint tea. Peppermint tea is essential. You ever go through chemo, peppermint tea is your friend. Also, those salted square cracker things, also essential. Having things in your stomach, it doesn't make sense, but having food in your stomach prevents nausea. I don't know how, but they say that, and those crackers settle the stomach. It's something. And then eat as much as you can. Eat whatever the fuck you want. High fat, high protein, whatever you want to eat, because your tastes will change on a whim. Anyway, they get you cozy with your blankie. You can sit back, and you're allowed one visitor to sit next to you. There's a chair next to you. Usually it's mom. My sister was just there, or Tina will sit with me. You sit there. Nurse comes up and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Da, da, da. And they're always like super friendly, and they light up my day. They're amazing people, and they sit down, and then you have your folder, your thick folder, which has your protocol and all that stuff. Uh, yeah, they're amazing people. They go through the questionnaire. Like, you have tingling in your fingers? Do you have tinnitus? How are your bowels? You pooping? You constipated? You bummed out? Things like that. They ask you all the things every day. They ask you the question, and they ask you, "Are you feeling well for treatment?" And I always answer, "Absolutely. Let's do this." So then they get an IV started. It goes into your arm. Put the tourniquet around you, and there's always in the arm or in the hand. And then they poke you. I alternate arms because I don't know, I'm weird. Um, they poke that in, and they get started with the hydration. Hydration is important. They start with a big old bag of IV, and they pump you full of that, and then they get you started with whatever your drugs are. But in my case, it's bleomycin. So bleomycin requires a steroid on top of the steroid that I take that morning, and it's in a little IV bag. They give you the cortisol, and then they give you the little bag of bleomycin, and then in between they kind of flush with more saline, so you get all of it. So yeah, the machine beeps, and they come and they check on you and stuff like that. Um, and then I start with the heavy stuff, which is the cisplatin, which is what hopefully will save my life. Get the cisplatin in there, which takes around 45 minutes. This whole ordeal takes around 4 to 5 hours, and then they do that. They finish that. They flush it. They get the etoposide. They run that. That takes around half an hour. They flush it, and then they do the post hydration, and then they get it all in there. It's rough, and worst part is during all the infusions, you taste the drugs and you smell them. It's the same idea of how a breathalyzer works. You know how you blow into a thing. It's like, hey, you're fucking drunk. What are you doing? Because it's the alcohol is going through your blood, right, and then goes to your lungs and you breathe it out, right. So every breath, you're breathing out this awful tasting stuff. Imagine, like, the permanent marker, black permanent marker. You smell it. That's kind of what it tastes like. You can taste it. You can smell it. Your tongue starts tingling when you drink stuff. Like, you have aversions to hot, aversions to cold, and yeah, when you're done that, you kind of feel heavy, and you just kind of can barely move because your body's just getting fucked up by these chemicals. All the while, you're pissing every 10 minutes because of all the fluids they give you. So you gotta, like, take your dance partner, the little thing that rolls. Yeah, basically that's it. And then you go home, and then you sleep, and then you wake up feeling you get hit by a bus, and you gotta do it 4 more times. Yeah, I'm a 5 days in a row kind of guy, which is grueling by chemo standards, but that's how they do it. Can you watch TV during chemo? You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can bring your laptop. You can play games. But I just prefer to just sit there, and I do this. It's my sleeping mask, and I just lay down and I pass out. Um, like, I can just, or I check my phone or whatever. But some people, they bring in, like, their iPads and stuff like that. But they're on a different protocol. Everyone's kind of in the same room, in a wide room, and there's some, like, 25 chairs, and maybe like 8 nurses, 8 infusion nurses. There's always an oncologist, in and out and stuff like that. There's always a drama, always someone having a reaction, or someone saying, "I can't breathe." Um, but there's no one uh, on like palliative chemo in the room. I think that's in a different ward. Um, Switch to plant-based diet. I'm doing a bit of everything. They don't recommend raw veg. Um, because that's just, you know what, you don't have stomach lining. But you know what, I'm being very proactive in my health. But yeah, a plant-based diet's not going to, make or break this thing, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the story. The story of ball pain leading to this ordeal. Oh yeah, and basically there was, there's been some forest fires in BC. So while getting chemo, I'm inhaling smoke and shit, and it's hot. So I'm basically baking in bed, and like I can feel my heart just. It's like it's like uh, it's like a hangover, a flu, and getting hit by a car, all wrapped into one. Maybe, but yeah, Khabib smash. Hard to say. Uh, I don't know. Well, this is the first time I've talked about it. It's a little bit embarrassing because it's about my ball. Rest in peace, ball. My ball is in like a fridge somewhere. How I made five. I made a lot of these tracks like years ago. But they just kind of got finished up. 5 a.m. I actually have. Yeah, I'll do that. It was basically something like a little idea that I made with serum. I like the triplet kind of thing, like the dotted thing. I did that with the LFO as an envelope, kind of repeating over and over again. And then I rendered that out and I put it on in a folder and I just kept it. And then I came back to it and then chopped it all up. That's why you have like the those kind of patterns. And yeah, but I'll try to do how I did that. Um, but the thing is, this chemo is going to, you know, one of the things I'm not looking forward to that's already happening is I'm experiencing some hearing loss. So I'm going to, yeah, that sucks. Might need to change careers or I won't be able to do much of anything after this, depending on how extensive it is. But yeah, the hearing damage, that's heartbreaking. I'll take any other long-term side effect, but yeah, why you lose hearing? That's what the chemo drugs do. Side effect is they damage your hearing because those are sensitive nerves. So there was a grieving process over that. Also neuropathy, disabled hands, so maybe won't be able to bleep bloop buttons as well. Hearing loss could be temporary, could be forever. Um, my oncologists are really impressed in how my body's taking the chemo drug. I have lost my hair, but I still got my eyebrows, still got some eyelashes, a little bit of chest hair still. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The nerves in your ears are very sensitive, and chemo drugs damage the nerves, as far as I know. What gets you through every day? You know what? I just put my head down and walk through it. I'm kind of a zombie. Did I shave my hair off? They don't recommend shaving your hair, shaving your head, because if it gets too short, it won't be able to come out, and you'll get like these ingrown hairs. You gotta like um, not shave your head, but cut your hair like short. Mine was like that short, and then it just kind of fell out. Uh, but if you shave it, you know how like you get like the hairs that are just level to the follicle or the root or whatever. They could get stuck and ingrown. It's not pleasant. Yeah, the oncologist said the hearing damage will affect higher frequencies. I'm going to get a hearing test when this is all done, assuming there's a point to doing that. Yeah, yeah. My beard went first. Joel was here checking on me. Are you kidding? Deadmau5? That's cool. Was he? Are you effing with me? I think like my hearing will be on par with someone who's in their, you know, 50s, 60s. So maybe I'll focus more on the mid range or something. Yeah, it might have been a Joel troll. No thanks, Clayton, for the super chat. Joel's streaming and he checked up on me. That's cool. Well, I'm a big fan. I'm inspired by that guy. A lot of respect for him. I appreciate. You know what? Yeah, you feel kind of isolated because it's not a good idea for me to go out just because my immune system is so compromised. It got really low. Like you're supposed to be like 3 and above. I was 0.57, and they're like, yeah, if you get below 5, you're not good. I would have to go on some really expensive drug, and my oncologist said it's gonna get lower this time around. I've seen it. And most likely, it's gonna get really low. So I don't want to risk getting sick because that might delay treatment. I might basically F myself. So yeah, it's a whole lot of isolation. So, you know, 2 titans. I'm not a titan, I'm just a tit. Give it up for Tina, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah, so like the 50s, 60s guys with their hearing, maybe I'll like expedite and I'll like, I don't know, focus on the mid range or something. Do I wear the hat all the time? I do wear the hat all the time, just because I don't know, it makes me comfortable. But yeah, well, I can show you guys the baldness. One of the volunteers were just like, "Did you shave your head? Like, where'd all your hair go?" Because when I came in, I had like my mane and like my toque was like it poofed up because it had like a bun or whatever. I had like really thick hair and I had long hair, and yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, "No, it all fell off. I don't know what happened." I try to be silly. I'm like, "Where'd all my hair go?" Focus on the mids. That's how I live life. Yeah, I got a big head. I appreciate it, AC1 music. I don't want people to feel bad. You know what? It's the cards you're dealt. Things like that. Yeah. It feels weird though when I do this. Like I'm expecting hair and stuff like that. I was like, I walked through a spider web and I immediately went like this because I thought I had hair still. Yeah. I want to feel better. I wish this was all a prank. I wish this was all me making it up. That would have been funny, but not really. Uh-oh. I do keep my eyebrows. They're thick and they're staying in there. Eyelashes too, arm hair and chest hair, but like other hair, chest kind of went away. You never know the value of bum hair until you lose it. Because when you walk, you chafe. It's uncomfortable. Might have been TMI, but whatever. Do I know what frequencies I can hear? There's where we're staying. There's like those high pitched. Um, I think those like those mouse. You plug it into an outdoor receptacle, and it's like a high pitched squeal sound that mice don't like. I can hear that, and uh, and that's like kind of like my yardstick. I can't hear it anymore. Skip the ball shaving part next time. Yeah. No, no, no. Well, when that nurse shaved my balls, my scrotum, she was she grabbed the shaft part and she cupped them in such a way. I was like, whoa. And they're like, "Zzz." Yeah. And I was really trying hard to think of something else. Yeah, that would have been funny. Forgot like a semi. But whatever, I would have been like, oh, she would, whatever. I'm sure they've seen it all before. Like a nervous semi. How many balls she shaves on a monthly basis? She shaves all sorts of things because we're hairy, and when the surgery they can't have the hair. I don't know why they had to shave my balls though. My ball like and why they had to do that. They're working up here. I don't know. But yeah, I tell people I'm like I hope you never have to go through this. And if I'm 80 and I get cancer or something, I ain't doing chemo. I ain't doing it. I will enjoy my final month or year or whatever. She was a nurse, yeah. She was one of the head nurses too. I want to hug you too, but I can't touch people because I don't want to get sick. I want to thank everyone for chilling with me. Medical cannabis. I take CBD on my off days just to take the edge off. Um, there is conflicting opinions on how the weed interferes with the liver and the other cancer drugs. There's definitely an interaction. And I'm just like, if I don't need it, I won't take it. But I do have some right here. The CBD that I take on my off days, and that with Tylenol, Gravol, and a sleeping pill, and I'm good to go. It just takes the edge off. I take really low doses and stuff like that. Hot nurse, she was a really attractive older lady, but the story is the younger nurse walked past me to the next guy, and I think if the younger nurse would have shaved my undercarriage, there would have been a higher probability of me outgrowing her hands when she was shaving me. I take the CBD for pain and sleep and anxiety too. Oh boy, yeah. I gotta tell you, when, fingers crossed, when I beat this, I'm going to be not wasting any time. I love all women. Come on, that experience. So I just I want to let you guys know that just stop, just do it. The Nike slogan, just do it. Don't wait for an absolution. And appreciate every day. I've been given this gift in a weird way, where when I'm all clear and I get stronger mentally and physically, I want to achieve more things. Yeah, the thing about medical cannabis and cancer is it's well within your right, and all these things to seek health in any way that you need, but any way that you want. But the more you look at it, the more you realize that there's over 300 different kinds of cancer. They all have different mechanisms. They all respond differently to different things. So to assert or have this notion that weed works for everything um, is not grounded in realism. But absolutely, it does help people. Um, it's a very uh, potent antiemetic and appetite enhancing drug with not a whole lot of side effects, which is good. And yeah, certain people in certain situations, certain cancer, it's recommended. Some are not. And I'm all about, like, look, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm all for, you know, natural, quote unquote, natural intervention. But I believe in a more integrated situation. You know what I mean? Like, they tell you don't eat grapefruit. Grapefruit interferes with the chemo drugs. Don't take the other one that's not Tylenol. I can't think right now. Things like that. Yeah. You know what my job with this channel is, and I think I've said this before, is like just to stand on top of a house and just say, you can do it. Because if I can kind of do it, you know, anyone can do it. You know, just be fearless. Don't wait. You know what I mean? If you wanna quit smoking, don't say I'm quitting smoking. Say I'm a non-smoker and stop right now. Don't wait. And that's just an example. You can apply that to anything. You say, yeah, the worst thing is the fatigue. Fatigue is like, yeah. But every time I'm like really fucked up, you know, the later days, I'd be like, you should see the cancer. The cancer's getting its fucking ass kicked. What type of cancer? Testicular metastasized to the lung, stage 3. Which is not good. You don't want high stage numbers. How's my sleep? Everything is good. But when I'm going through treatment, it's hard to sleep. So I got like this badass sleeping pill, but also makes things taste metallic in the morning, which isn't good. From Iran. Sup, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Gangster Space Jesus, you have kidney cancer? I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, no. So do I have any more stories? Yeah. What's that famous song? Bill Hicks. Life is but a dream. You know what? Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's coming to all of us. You know, you get kind of bummed out because I'm 31. I'm just like, damn, I thought I was gonna get at least 30 more years out of this shit. Experience Ableton 20 and FL 47 or FL 140. Take care, Michelson. Yeah. Oh, I have no nose hairs anymore. That's interesting. I haven't done anything production related lately. FL Studio, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of everything. Companies kind of email me like, "Hey, you want to look at this new plugin?" Da 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 da. And then, like a day or two later, they're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were going through cancer." FL 200. No, they're probably gonna like start a new DAW It's a whole new rewrite of something else. Biomechanical, yeah, quantum computer, machine learning, synth patches, human brain interfaces. That'd be something. Yeah, there'll be no giving up. I'd have to be, I don't know, holding my own head. Do I listen to music while I'm going through all this? No. Loud noises, anything I need to focus on hurts. I appreciate it, Raymond. Ambient, that's, you know what I mean, it's so hard to explain. Anything that requires focus. Like you just look at a wall and zone out and just try to sleep through it. Yeah, your teeth and your fingernails hurt. Not your fingertips, but your fingernails. And your face is all puffy because of the steroids. It's I wish you never experienced it. What did the lump feel like? It was hard and painful because it had necrosis. It outgrew its blood supply. That's how I knew. That's why I thought, because they say like a lump, like cancer tumor is painless, but I had pain, so I thought it was one of those infections that you get. It's like a urinary tract infection, but it's different. It's in a different tube. Talk about the day I found out. Day I found out was a pretty fucked up day. Um, it was. Hold on, what's going on? Anyway, the day, yeah, he's basically, you have cancer, and I'm like, you know how like people faint in movies? That almost happened. Then I kind of was like, I just went into autopilot mode. I was just listening to what he was saying. He was just saying about Lance Armstrong, he beat this, and you're gonna da da da. And I was like, okay, okay, what now? And he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to get you in for surgery right away. And I did that. And then I went down the street to a clinic to see a doctor to get my pre-op to be, medically cleared for surgery. Basically, he looked at me, was young, my blood pressure was good, no pre-existing condition that would conflict with surgery like that. Um, and yeah, that was it. And kind of reassured myself and kind of dealt with that. But the thing is you can only be paralyzed with fear over a certain subject for that long, for so long. It's like like it's like exposure therapy. Like eventually you just become not fearful of it. It's just a reality. You kind of get used to it. You get used to the feeling. It's weird. And so I guess, when people are terminal and they're like, oh, you're going to die, it's a shock and there's a grieving thing, but then they're just fine with it. And it's weird how our brains do these things. I've noticed. I'm glad you guys like the album, the little compilation of ideas and tracks. I wish I had a chance to finish it. I was a smoker. I smoked for a while, but I basically quit 9 years ago. From Kosovo. What's up, dude? Yeah. You know, oh yeah, no, I'm fighting. I'm not laying down. It's gonna be a long uphill battle. Yeah, it's a little exhausting. Might as well be climbing up Mount Everest right now. Birds are all jumbling. But yeah, if I considered a random new hobby, um, no, can't really think of anything that I'd be open to doing. Um, maybe catch up on movies. Um, Chemo is worse than the depression I experienced. Much worse. I thought the depression I was feeling was pretty bad, but this is something else. Basically, your body's poisoned. You get poisoned, and it's really unpleasant. I am eating healthy. Oh, pretty healthy. I plan on cooking any meth, only with Pinkman and a Winnebago. The very idea that Walter White was around all those chemicals, smelling them, and doing what he did while he was on chemo is a feat. You know what? When I pull into the parking garage at the cancer clinic, the smell of the parking garage is awful. Like the pavement. That you just get like aversions to random things. I saw a woman with dyed green hair and I wanted to fucking projectile and vomit all over. It's like it's weird what you kind of get used to or unused to. Oh, you know what? I'm already on a protocol that has the highest success rate. I don't know if swishing apple cider vinegar or like I don't know. It's like they say if like alternative medicine worked, it would be called medicine. Yeah, and you know what? I've been kind of I appreciate it. I know you're coming from a good place, but I've been preyed upon by the bleach guy and like a lot of other people. And I guess, if I was in a different situation or if I wasn't in sound mind and didn't have the support structure, I guess I would have tried these treatments, which would have been detrimental. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I just think it's one of those things. Can I get high? I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm a cancer patient. That's basically it. That's what you learn. You get like rock star treatment everywhere you go. I'm sticking I'm sticking to what three oncologists and the Canadian specialist, like the chief freaking oncologist of Canada said. He looked at my case and everyone who's come before me and all those things. Yeah, we are VIP. I got my CT scan on like a day off. I get my blood work on statutory holidays, and they're all like, "Oh, right this way." Yeah, my brain is a little silly. Yeah, acupuncture. That's one that's like like it's not intrusive. Well, maybe no, you don't want little freaking holes in your body. The things is my immune system is compromised, and the skin is like the last barrier from the outside world. Like I'm not even supposed to brush my teeth hard because if you brush your teeth like really hard, like bacteria enters the bloodstream. It's like that bad, yo. What's the weather like? It's not too bad. A little windy. We had a lot of smoke last week. Vitiligo was cured. Yeah, well, not weed smoke, but like forest fire, California and BC and shit. want to thank you guys for joining me on stream, everyone. Yeah, though that smoke was awful. Because I sleep like a child with my mouth open. Sounds like my throat dried out. Yeah. Yeah, I got CBD oil, yo. We don't know if it hurts or not, but on my off days, I don't. Thing is the efficacy. Oncologists can't recommend it, but maybe a nurse definitely didn't pull me aside and recommend that I do CBD oil. A nurse definitely didn't do that. Yeah. Yeah, I got, what is it? The ratio is 1 to 3 plus, whatever that means. What movies do you like? I listened to Jaws. That was the last movie that I listened to. And that was during treatment. Just because I wanted to hear the guy be like, it's 20 feet. And the guy goes, it's 25. What's my favorite color? Peach color. Oh, also, yeah, if you ever, this stuff is good for the heartburn, things of that nature. Audiobooks? Yeah, I was thinking about that actually. I want to listen to some Stephen King novels because he actually reads them, right? Does he read them? I might get use the funds to get an Audible uh, subscription. Maybe that'll do the trick. Do I have a Kindle? No. And reading words is not on the menu. I can barely do it now. It's just the brain can't. It hurts to concentrate. It hurts the eyes and stuff like that. If that makes any sense. Well, for anyone who's gone through it, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, Kindle is actually a pretty cool little machine. Battery lasts forever, and like it prints the stuff on there using a whatever. Do I need a Kindle to get the audiobooks though on the Kindle store? Anyway, guys, yeah, here's a comment. Love you, man. Always remember that you've changed many people's lives. I appreciate you saying that. I hope so. That's the whole point of life is to leave something behind, right? Hmm. Yeah, I've read the 74 creative strategies. They sent me one among a bunch of other little treats in their box. I liked it. You know who's sending me something really cool is the guy who invented VR chat. He's gonna send me an Oculus. So everyone thank that guy. I think it's on the way because I can't go anywhere. So I gotta like I can wear the Oculus and run around, be out in a different world because I can't go outside. You wanna send me something? Um, it depends on what you want to send me. Like, yeah, it's tricky giving out your address online. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Like, maybe you can send something to the cancer clinic or something. I don't know. I don't think they would allow that. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know. Like, no offense, but like, yeah, you don't want to get your because like my full name and identity theft and stuff like that. I shouldn't. Yeah, PO bot. I wonder if I can go get one of those. I don't know if there's one around here. Oculus does sound nice. Well, I don't think so. As long as it's a high refresh rate. Am I gonna keep the new look? No, I'm growing hair, dog. Yeah, I'd be like, let people send you plugin licenses. I already have those. Yeah, it's from the guy who invented VR chat. So I'm gonna be in VR chat. Hopefully, in between, well, after next cycle. Next cycle starts next week. Yeah, I get like a no. I can't get any tattoos because immune system. I can't even floss. I'm not allowed to floss. Yeah. Like I like the idea of cards. Cards make me feel cozy. Yeah. No, I'd opt for I don't like the bald look. On me personally. I might rock the oh, I actually took out my ears too. So I have little holes. I gotta get those sorted out. Um I think I'll rock some short hair for a while. I look younger without the facial hair, yeah. But I got a big chin. I don't like the way my chin looks. How old am I? I'm 31, yo. You guys are awesome. I'm not done with chemo. No, unfortunately. Do I have Polish roots? Yes. Hungarian slash Ukrainian, Polish, bunch of other stuff. I haven't been listening to any albums, but I want to listen to some Stephen King audiobooks. That's next on my thing. I think I'm like fourth generation Canadian. So that's how long we've been here. Fourth or fifth generation. Maybe sixth. You have a dog? No, my mom has a dog. Her name's Ginger. She's pretty dope. Have I ever been to Ukraine or Poland? I've never left North America. But that's gonna change. Where was I born? I was born in BC. Yeah, I want to go to Eastern Europe and stuff like that. I want to go everywhere and hang out with everyone. We'll drink pints when I'm all better. Yeah, totally. Well, I'm gonna try to be around. I bet you any podcast. No, I don't really like the format of podcasts. I really enjoy the idea of audiobooks, though. That sounds dope. Please come to Brazil. That is on my list. I want to go there, and I want to go to a UFC event in Brazil once because apparently it is fun. Well, I don't know if I'll switch career. I just won't be of much use as a music maker person. I don't know. It's just life is it's yeah, just you gotta roll with the punches in life, as they say. And yeah, if my hearing goes, I gotta figure something else out. You know, I'm relatively resourceful and somewhat intelligent, I guess. And I gotta eat and get ahead in life. So yeah, if I have tinnitus and hearing loss for the rest of my life, I gotta figure something else out. Yeah, help with mixing, yeah. Or just kind of focus on what I can hear. Have I ever been complimented on my voice? Yes. Am I gonna make a new beginning? It's more of a phase two or a second chance that I'm going to appreciate. What can you do to help? Just continue being awesome. Do whatever you want, as little or as much as you want. Obviously things are going to be slowing down for, well, they've already slowed down or stopped, hiatus, things like that. How do I feel about video games? There are many, many holes and potential markets in video games that are begging for some attention, and I think there's a real potential in there, and that's what I might work on a little bit, retraining myself to do that. What genre do I have the most fun producing? I like producing retro feeling trancey stuff and just techno. And I like experimenting. Have I ever thought of moving from the country? No, not now. This is gonna be my life for the next 5 years. Moving? No, I don't want to do that because I'm really well taken care of here in terms of my treatment. What is the best way to go about getting your music out there? That is that is a that is the golden question. Just get it out there. SoundCloud, email it to DJs, email it to podcast. Like just get like just you know put your mind to it and go after your market. How is Nurse T-Nile doing? She's really good. She's a saint. Strong, strong woman. What's my favorite food? Waffles and eggs. You like Troll? Troll was fun. My first and last big room track. My beginning of music? Okay. I guess when I was 12, I was first kind of introduced, maybe I was 11, introduced to like the Vega Boys and things like that. And then I got introduced to a whole bunch of music. And I was kind of into like stadium breaks because um, there was a live album called Family Values '98, and the Crystal Method has a track on it. They opened or did something on that tour, and that was life changing. It was kind of discovered by accident, and kind of dug that. And I got a couple compilations. That was about the time when Sandstorm came out, and a song called Operation Blade by Public Domain. I heard Operation Blade, its full original mix, not the rate, but the full mix, at a high school dance when I was 13, and it blew my freaking mind. And I don't know, the DJ guy was just probably blasted on cocaine, and he's just like, "This is the biggest song in Europe. It's the biggest song in Europe right now." And then they played it, and it was amazing. And there was other songs like Alice DJ, Better Off Alone. This is like 2000, 2001. And I was like, I want to do this. I want to be like one of these guys. You know what I mean? Because it's just one guy, and he has computers and machines and stuff around him. I like computers and machines in this music. This is something I could totally do. So that that was my introduction. The tip, the tip was inserted, and that was the tip. And what was thrusted inside me was a compilation I got at HMV, and the compilation is called Revolution by Beatbuzz, which is a bunch of Bonsai Records track, Lightning Records from Belgium. And it was a completely different vibe than Vega Boys. It had like Push, aka Mike, on there. You know, Laurent Verona, like all these all these guys and all these tracks from like earlier in the 90s, but they were kind of updated. And the first track, if you want to know, like we put the CD in to my dad's vehicle because I went down to HMV and I was looking, and there was like the electronic music section, which was like one little reject corner of the thing, of the store, a little kiosk thing. And I was like, I knew I liked rave music. I didn't really know the genres back then. I still don't know them. So got that. Took out CD1 because it was a 3-pack. CD1, put it in, and played it. And the first track was DJ Blackmaster, Time Never Stops. And that was my introduction. And blew my freaking mind. The shaft of electronic music was thrusted inside me, and I enjoyed every moment. And yeah, that was it. And I was like, all right, this is like a Belgian techno, and this is what I want in my life. And that started an exploration of the music, because then I had access to the internet and a thing called a CD burner. And then I had access to a thing called a mini disc player. You could put music onto it. Yeah, and yeah, Joey Beltran Energy Flash. That was another one. It was just like on LimeWire, Morpheus, well, Napster. Well, Napster was for dads. We used what did we use? Emule, eMonkey. I forget. Anyway, whatever. Openly disclosing. Kaza. I think it was. Yeah, it was. Was it Kaza? Kazaa. LimeWire came afterwards. I forget what it was. eDonkey. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was one of those P2P tracker things. And yeah, just went off on a tear, got into a lot more of the Belgian techno, and then got into more of the happy hardcore stuff, a bit more trance, because that was, like the uplifting trance, era. Enjoyed that. And yeah, I was just constantly looking for new music. And then I went onto this website called mp3.com. And, you look at like the top electronic tracks. And at the top was an artist called the Cynic Project. And downloaded that and liked it. And I was like, this is cool. And this was back in the day when you had like a GeoCities website or an Angelfire website. I found his website and I looked at it, and it's like, what do you use to make music? It was like an interview kind of thing, or FAQ. And it's like, what do you use to make music? And it was like, Fruity Loops 2. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So then I went and I downloaded Fruity Loops 2. And yeah, it was like just this primitive thing. And I kind of explored the concept of putting tracks and beats and having multiple things play at the same time. And then something clicked in me and I understood the concept, because before I thought that they made the music live on turntables and the mixing board. Like I didn't understand what the mixer did, what the DJ mixer did. And I like that Aphex was my shaft. Everyone's be like, what was your shaft? Who knows? Deadmau5 was my shaft. Skrillex was my shaft. But yeah, I thought that you mixed and made, and the mixer had the beats and stuff like that, and then you sampled from the record. And I was kind of right, sampling from records, but I didn't quite get it. But then I got it. I was like, oh, okay, so you take files that are not MP3s, they're WAV files. So you convert from MP3 to WAV, and you use a separate program for that. All these things. And then you put them together, and it's like a puzzle, and they make you track like that. And for some reason, that tickled my brain in such a way that I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, you know, not not quite getting the full picture. That was just, the tip of the iceberg. So there was, that time kind of passed, and I moved in with my father, and he had a laptop, and I used the shit out of that laptop. And I had FL Studio 3.6. I acquired that. I downloaded the demo. Let's just say that, and I started exploring with that. And I was looking at all like the projects that it comes with. And I was like, oh, okay, they use like these weird synth things. What do these mean? And that started a journey. It's like I use like TS404 and 3OSC, all these things. And I was like, this is crazy. And I didn't quite understand what everything was doing, but I would just move knobs and twiddle and stuff like that. Like one after another, I would just move them and try to figure things out. And yeah, that's basically it. And then from there, it gets more complicated with VSTs and things like that. And I remember just experimenting with Blood Overdrive and putting those on my kicks, and like you can change things. And yeah, that went on for some time, off and on during high school. And I was making like little beats and like tracks and stuff like that. Um, and from there, I had gotten into a rut with FL Studio. It just wasn't for me. It's just too much stuff on screen, things popping up over top of things. And at the time, I was DJing parties and stuff like that, and I wanted to do stuff live. And I was a fan, still am a fan of Paul Van Dyke. And this is when he started using a laptop in his DJ sets. And I was like, what the heck is this? And it turns out he's using a program called Ableton Live 5. And Sasha was using it as well. And I was like, what is this? And it's like a live performance thing and a studio thing. And they're intermeshed. And it has something called non-destructive editing. And you can, you know, uh, do all sorts of stuff with it, and like the windows don't pop up. It's really a clean layout and stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, all right. And you can do things called warping, and you work with audio, not like a little sequencer thing, and clips and scenes and stuff like that. Um, so then I got into that, and that set me down this path of using Ableton and working linearly in this graph and exploring and things like that. And that went on from when I was 16 or whatever. And then I got serious with music, making remixes and mashups and some original stuff. And I started a label, and I abandoned the label. I started a new one. And then yeah, I got some success. I remixed Vamp for an RNS remix competition, and I won. And that set me on this road of like, all right, this is a thing. So yeah, the rest is kind of history. I started a label, started making music under different genres. That started paying the bills. Started a YouTube channel for fun, and then that far exceeded my expectations. And then here we are. Yay! That's the story. There's a couple of things in there. Did I go to college? No, I'm a high school dropout, dude. I have a grade 9 education. Before they were famous. Where are they now? Yeah. Ableton is very minimal, and I guess that's why Richie Hawtin liked it so much, because he's a very minimal musically and aesthetically. Right. It's just Ableton makes sense to me. And I guess that's why I stuck with it. Yeah. Going from like FL Studio, I think it was FL Studio 7 to Ableton, it changed everything. It was great. Do I master on another DAW? No, Ableton, the sound engine is pretty top notch. Ableton Push, yeah, that was another game changer. Are you okay? I'm alright. I'm not in a position to listen to anyone's mixes right now, dude. I'm very ill and very tired. Calm, concise, positive, relatable. Those are good words. I like those good words. Yeah, I'll be good. What does cancer feel like physically? Well, stage 3 cancer's not pleasant. Uh, it's not like in my bones where it's like painful or like pressing up against my rib cage and stuff like that. What I'm feeling is the drugs using to fight it. So, yeah, cancer, yeah, I didn't feel anything when it metastasized, but I'm definitely feeling the drugs and the chemo. No, I'm happy to answer the questions. But you know what? I think I should. It's been 2 hours. I think I should give this stream a rest. I should go get some water and have some healthy food. Food for the fight. I had a long week tomorrow. I might do this again. I don't know. Yeah, eye strain, definitely. Where is dance? What do I think of dance music nowadays and where is it heading? My finger's off the pulse. I think it's heading in a direction that it needs to head in. I think it's like an organism that's evolving, a ball, metaphorical ball that people are adding to and taking away, and it's just slowly evolving over time, or fastly evolving over time. And yeah, it's trends come and go, and aesthetics come and go. But the thing is it's so very cool thing about electronic music. And I don't know if this is true because like genres like metal might be the same way. Is that there's so many different subcategories, so many different eras that there's something for everyone. This stream is all about balls and shaving. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it warms my heart and my remaining ball to have you guys here. And enjoy your weekend. And keep it real. All right, ladies and gents. Everyone, I can't possibly say goodbye to everyone, but yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of a rest, drink some water, see what everyone's doing. All right, take care. Hope you learned stuff, and have a good one. Bye.